Hello and welcome to Findlay Designs. Today I'm really excited to share my latest book that I've just had published on Amazon. I've just received my copies all the way from the US. I can't get them printed in Australia, so I get them from the US and they send me the author's copies direct to me now in Australia, which is really good, because before I had to set up a Shopmate account and have them sent in America, and then they were then forwarded on to me. So I'm grateful that excuse me, that I'm now able to get these sent direct to me. So just going into, this is my copy here. It's a goal setting and action planner that I've created for artists. Now, it was based on the things that I've been looking for over the last 12 months. So I had several notebooks on the go, a diary, and I was jotting down notes for things that I was going to post on YouTube, with the blog posts I was going to do, what I was going to send out in my newsletter, and I had several notebooks with all this information. So I decided to collate everything into one handy book. The one downside of this is I would have liked it to have been a spiral bound book, but unfortunately Amazon KDP doesn't do that at the moment, so it's just a regular paperback book. I did look into getting it printed in other with other companies, but because I'm in Australia I am limited slightly so, and because of the ease of using Amazon, whereas I created the artwork, everything myself, and I was able to publish it myself, so it meant that I could keep everything in-house and it effectively didn't cost me anything other than my time to create. So this book, I'll just quickly go through what this book is all about. So the first section is reflecting on the previous year. So it goes into a bit of information on looking at your previous figures. So it's got things like, what goals did I achieve last year? So I've listed my goals. What were my biggest highlights? What didn't work well? Now that's a good one, because then you can, when you're reflecting over the previous year, you can then see what you need to do and what you don't need to do this year. Now I'd like to add as well that this book is undated, so you can pick it up at any time of the year. So whether it be that you start it at the beginning of the financial year or start at the calendar year, is entirely up to you. Now I know that at the end of March, beginning of April in the UK, they start their financial year, whereas in Australia it's the 1st of July is the start of the financial year. I'm not 100% sure what it is in America, so I'll have to look that one up. But again, I've done this to cater for most people, so that no matter at what stage you're at, you can actually pick this up and start it anywhere. So, and it also goes into what did you learn, and where do you need to improve. So things that maybe you're looking at your previous YouTube videos and think, oh, my early videos were maybe not the best. I could maybe relook at them and make improvements on there, or maybe you didn't make a lot of sales through your website, and so you can go back and think, well, what do I need to do to make improvements there? So what do you need to do less of this year as well? This is also a handy thing, because sometimes we do a lot of the same things expecting different results. So sometimes we have to look back and say, well, that didn't actually work for me, so I'm going to do less of that this year, and that will free you up time to do other things. So also I've done a section on what were my most popular blog posts, what comments did I receive. So again, you can reflect on the what people had to say. So what were my most popular videos and posts, so you can look back and see which videos work well for you, which ones didn't, so you could do more of the things that work well for you moving forward. Same thing, what were my least popular, and how can I improve? So it's generally the same thing, but with your posts and your videos you can see how you can make improvements. I've also added a section in here where you can look at your subscriber count. So things like, you know, how your mailing list was looking, your YouTube subscribers, Facebook, if you have a Facebook group, your Instagram, Pinterest, and website visitors. Also, there's a section to put in what your most popular sales were, so what your most popular items were, what were least popular, again, so you can reflect over what you're going to be doing in this coming year. So also I've included a section for your sales, so what sales did you make, so and what your profit was for the year. Again, you can then look at what percentages of that it was profit on each of those popular products. So then if some products are maybe not doing so well and the percentage that you get from them is not very good anyway, you can perhaps drop that product. If you're, for instance, for me, my ebook is 100% profit or this book, because at the end of the day, it cost me nothing to make. Obviously, if I'm doing things through Amazon, I earn royalties, so there's still a cost there, but again, it's not coming out of my pocket, it's coming from the sales of the book, so that's money that just generates and goes straight into your pocket. So things, and there's another section here, what changes do I need to make? So for me, it would be create more books, more videos, and I'm going to increase the accessories on my website because those did quite well last year. Also, for artists, I've also put a section on where you stock your products. So if you have your products in galleries or in a shop, on commissioned, on consignment. So there's a section here to list what's working for you, what's not, and again, what it costs you to produce, to have those in there, you know, so if you're paying rent, so you can mark all that down there. And then at the end of the year, you can reflect and see what was working for you and what wasn't. So again, you can make informed decisions on whether to carry on with a particular stockist or whether you need to look at more stockists because that's working well for you. So, and then you've got a summary at the end to see in that section what you need to do moving forward. So the next section is making this year count. So this is the area where you would pop down your dreams and goals for the year. It can be as elaborate as you want, just jot everything down that you would like to do in the year and then put everything into what I call a brain dump. So for me, this year I wanted to expand and grow. So what I've done in the brain dump, I don't know that you can see it, Rich, let me get a bit closer. I've actually jotted down all the things that I would like to do in this year. And then I will break that down into various months to achieve these goals. And it's not set in stone, you can add to that as you move forward. So the next section is strategies to help your business grow. In this area, I've got things like what events have you got coming up, and these can be, this section is newsletter titles. So I've given some ideas on what you can do for your newsletter titles, and then you can fill in the blanks to suit yourself. So for instance, so what events have you got coming up this year? What inspires your work? What step-by-step processes can I share? Things like your video tutorials like I do. How do you care for your work? So this is something that I get asked regularly. What do you need to do to, clean a product and an artwork or whatever? So you can share that on there. What products you're working on, what artworks you're working on, behind the scenes. So you can, as you can see, there's quite a few sections here that you can fill in. Another one is what challenges have I faced as an artist. So this is different things that you can do in a newsletter. I've also done a section for your blogging. Now your blogging can be slightly different to your newsletter, or it can be the same, but you can mix and match the titles to suit yourself. So for the blogs it can be what's your latest collection about, how do you find the titles for your art, what are you challenging yourself to do. For instance, I'm challenging myself to do more watercolour painting, so I'm trying to create watercolour paintings in less than 2 hours, so for backgrounds for motivational quotes. So that's my challenge to myself with my other business that I do. And you know, what framing tips can you give others, and how has my style evolved over time, what inspires you. So there's a whole list of different things that you can do for ideas for blog posts. Then we move into the first quarter, and it's then breaking down the ideas and goals and dreams that you've already put in what you want to achieve in the year, and you break it down into smaller goals for each quarter. So for me, in January, I wanted to write this goal setting and action planner, and so I needed to research some more information. I needed to write down what it was that I wanted in a book that was going to work for me as a resident artist. So the research done there, so then it was writing the copy, getting it edited, creating the front cover. So that was my January pretty much done, and I did manage to get this finished in the January and then get it published. I just then had to wait for then my author's copies, for it to get approved, and then my author's copies to come through. So, and again, you've got like a mind map, so you can brain dump the ideas for your goals in this section here and add to it and tick off what you've achieved and everything like that. So I've also got in this area, so you can break down your goals and the action steps you need to take to achieve those goals. And then you've also got a section to write, you know, what topics you're going to blog about, what you're going to put in your newsletter, what will you post on social media, what videos are you going to upload, and what products are you going to be working on for the month. And then it moves into the day-to-day diary section. So you've got your monthly to-dos listed down the side, and you can break that down into sections and actions that you're going to be doing on each day. So you can really break things down and make yourself accountable by putting down all the action steps that you want to do in that diary section. So this, just let me forward to the end. So I put 5 weeks because it's an undated for each month. So that should be enough to cover your month. And so you just jot down the dates and everything. And then at the end of each month, you're then going to reflect over that month. So things like, what goals did you achieve that month? Did you achieve what you set out to do? What were your biggest highlights? So let's say you've had a YouTube video go viral or whatever. So you jot this down here. What did you learn? What didn't work well? Again, so something that wasn't working well for you, you don't want to be doing more of that in the future months. You want to be improving on it or dump it all together. So where do you need to improve? What do you need to do less of? What topics did I blog about? And what were the most popular videos and posts on social media? So you can look back and see look at the analytics and look at what was working for you. You've also got a section to, I don't know if you can see that. So you've got a section there to write down your subscribers and followers. Again, what products you've sold this month, what your sales were, and also your expenditure. So things that, you know, your materials, your rent costs and everything like that, you can jot that down. That means that at the end of the year, you can take all these figures, transpose them to the end, so then you're ready then with all those figures ready to start the next year. But it also means that you're not at the end of the year going right through everything that you've done throughout the year to then work out where you are and spending hours and hours and hours trying to figure out, well, what did I buy here, what did I buy there? Your figures are already done, and so it's going to make it a lot easier. And then we just start the same the following month, so what's in store for this month, and then it just continues. But we also have breakdowns of what's going on at the end of each quarter. So for instance, we're coming to the end of this first quarter, and we're now going to be moving into the second quarter. So for me, it's going to be, I'm going to re-sit down, rework my mind map or brain dump for the next quarter. So for instance, because of the lockdown that we're possibly going to be experiencing here in Australia and quarantine because of the global virus that's going around, that my plan is going to incorporate that in there. So I'm going to be doing lots more videos because this is something I can do. I don't need to go outside and do that. I'm going to be doing a lot more art, so I'm making sure I've got plenty of art supplies in, whereas a lot of people are hoarding and getting lots of loo roll and stocking their cupboards. I'm actually making sure I've got plenty of art supplies so I can still continue to do my videos. So this is what I'm going to be working on for the next quarter. So for me, I'm really pleased with this book. There is a couple of things that with writing in it that I've discovered that I need to tweak for the next edition, but I'm going to use this for the full year, see how I get on, and then maybe tweak it next year. So if you'd like to purchase this book, I'll put a link in the description below. If you have any questions or you would like to see some additional items added in this in the future editions, please comment below. As always, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to make many more books to help you in the future and bring you more ideas and videos, and of course bring you the video tutorials. So until next time, bye for now.